Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Take 5. It is Monday, April 18th, 2011, tax day. So pay your taxes today if you haven't. Something Jesus would want you to do. He has always said that you need to render unto Caesar what is Caesar and to God what is God's. Matthew 15, we got a tremendous passage. Let's look at it. Verse 21. And Jesus went away from there and withdrew to the district of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a Canaanite woman from that region came out and was crying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely oppressed by a demon. But he did not answer her a word. And his disciples came and begged him, saying, Send her away, for she is crying out after us. He answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But she came and knelt before him, saying, Lord, help me. And he answered, It is not right to take the children's bread and throw it to the dogs. She said, Yes, Lord, yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. Then Jesus answered her, O woman, great is your faith. Be it done for you as you desire. And her daughter was healed instantly. Well, here's a woman. And this is a woman with several problems. First of all, she's got a daughter who is possessed by a demon. Secondly, she's a Gentile. Thirdly, she's a woman. Now, I'm not trying to bash women, but in that culture, she was a Gentile and she was a woman. Jews just did not associate with Gentiles, and Jewish men did not associate with Gentile women. That was the furthest extreme. So she's got several things, and she's got a daughter demon possessed. Here's what she knows. She's got problems, but she knows that Jesus is the King. She calls him Son of David, and she calls him Lord. 3 times she calls him Lord. And when she initially asked him to help her, Jesus basically shoves her aside verbally. He calls her a dog. He said it's not right to take the children's bread, referring to the house of Israel, and give it to the dogs, the Gentiles. And Jesus' primary ministry was to the house of Israel. Those were God's chosen people. Why? You got to ask God on that one. But he chose Israel. And up until this point, that is his people. The Gentiles are not his people. And yet what we see is this woman is persistent. She is persistent in her prayer. She's persistent in her pursuit of Jesus. She is so persistent that she even uses a little bit of cleverness, if that's a word. And when Jesus says we can't throw the bread to the dogs, she says, well, even the dogs get some crumbs, don't they? Even those dogs get a few crumbs. Can you just throw me a crumb, Jesus? Just throw me a crumb. I know in your eyes I'm a dog. I just want a crumb. I know that crumb's enough. You got to remember, we read yesterday, a few days ago, that Jesus went to a village. They were just trying to touch the hem of his garment, and that was enough. She knew Jesus was so powerful that it didn't take but a crumb to take care of business. And you know what? Jesus threw her a crumb. He threw her a crumb. He said, woman, you have amazing faith. You have great faith. And she didn't even have to touch him. She didn't even have to touch the hem of his garment. He said, your daughter is healed. She was healed immediately. This is so encouraging to me. Now, of course, the Jews and Gentiles are all invited to God's kingdom. And the ministry primarily now is to Gentiles because the Jews rejected Jesus. And that's a whole nother subject. And if you're still around, and I'm still around, when we get to Romans, particularly chapters 9, 10, and 11, we'll deal with all that. But for right now, just learn this. Persistence with Jesus pays off. If you've asked him one time, and this goes to prayer too. If you've asked him one time, you've asked him 2 times, you've asked him 3 times, and you haven't gotten it, well, don't give up. Keep asking. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes I think God wants to see how serious we are, and do we really trust Him if He says no a few times. Sometimes He's going to keep saying no. It's not in His will, or sometimes He's going to say not yet, and it'll be a while. But if you've got somebody that's sick or has a demon or is hurting in some way, keep going after it. Don't give up, just like this woman, and you just may get what you asked for. All right? Super encouraging to me. Hey, take some time in prayer today. Be like this woman and have that kind of faith, and come back tomorrow for the next edition of Take 5.